Hi everyone, welcome back to another Mom Chat. If you're new here, I'm Brooke Ivy, a pediatric occupational therapist, parent coach, better known as your unfiltered OT mom. If you've ever found yourself wondering, why is my child melting down over something that seems so small? Why do they hate getting dressed? Why do they constantly move and seem like they're on the go? Why are they covering their ears? Why does grocery shopping seem so impossible? Then today's conversation is for you. Today we're talking about sensory processing. And I want to start by saying something that I think is really important. Sensory and processing is one of the most misunderstood topics. When most people hear the word sensory, they immediately think, oh, my child doesn't like loud noises or they're a picky eater, right? While those things can absolutely be related to sensory processing, it's much bigger than that. So today, I want to break it down in a way that's easy to understand and hopefully helps you look at your child through a different lens. So every single second of every single day, your brain is taking in information. So, what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch. But here's what people don't realize there aren't only those senses, like we have others. So, as occupational therapists, we actually look at eight sensory systems because they all work together to help us understand and respond to the world around us. Let's start with the most common, the first five. Vision, again, what we see. Hearing, what we hear through our ears, right? Touch, how we experience things through texture, temperature, pressure. Taste, and then smell. But then we have three additional systems that most people have never even heard of. The first one is the vestibular system. This is our child's sense of movement and balance. It happens in the inner ear. It's what helps them know if they're moving fast, moving slow, if they're spinning, climbing, swinging, or standing still. It's why some kids are constantly moving while others are more cautious or feel uncomfortable playing on playground equipment. The second is proprioception. That's our body's awareness of where it is in space. So knowing where your body is in space. It's what tells our brain how much force to use, how hard to push a door, how tight to hug someone, how much pressure to use when writing with a pencil. Now, some children are constantly like bumping and crashing into things, and so they're seeking that input. Others avoid activities that require body awareness because they don't feel as confident in where their body is. The last one is interoception, and this sensory system is like the most overlooked. It's one people most don't hear of often. So it's actually what how we understand what's happening in our bodies. It lets us know when we're hungry, when we're thirsty, when we need to use the bathroom, when our heart is racing fast because we're nervous, or when we're starting to get frustrated. Even recognizing our emotions begins with interoception. Now, here's where I see so many parents have that light bulb moment, like that aha. Sensory processing doesn't look the same in every child. One child may cover their ears every time the toilet flushes, while another child might actually seek out loud noises. One child may refuse to wear certain clothes because the texture is unbearable, while another may constantly crash into furniture or jump on the couch or other furniture. Other kids avoid playground equipment. Some kids want to swing, swing, swing and never get off, right? Some child may melt down in large places and become overwhelmed, while others may just shut down and become quiet. That's because they're all processing this sensory information differently. And that's why I always tell parents again, behavior doesn't happen in isolation. Behavior is communication. It's a response to what's happening around your child and inside their body. Sometimes the nervous system is saying, this is too much. Other times it's saying, I need more movement. I need more input. I need help. Understanding sensory processing doesn't mean we excuse every behavior, but it means we become curious enough to understand what's contributing to that behavior. One thing I really hope parents stop doing is comparing their child to someone else's. I hear it all the time. Well, my friend's child doesn't do this. My older child never struggled with this. Every child's nervous system is different. Every child experiences the world differently. Our goal isn't to make our child fit into someone else's mold or into a box. Our goal should be to understand how they experience the world and how we can better support them. So, where do you start? I always tell parents to become a detective instead of immediately asking, how do I stop this behavior? Try asking, what happened right before this? What was going on in the environment? Was it too loud? Was it too crowded? Did the routine change? Were they asked to stop something that they enjoyed? Are they tired, hungry, overstimulated? Did something seem unexpected, or did something unexpected happen? Start looking more for the patterns, because patterns tells us so much. The goal isn't to label every single behavior as sensory, but it's to become curious, become that detective. When we're better at being that detective, we can better understand what our child is experiencing. And when we understand what they experience, we can respond more intentionally instead of simply reacting. If there's one thing I hope you take away from today's chat, it is that sensory processing isn't about a child being difficult. It's about understanding how they are experiencing the world around them. And when we understand that, everything makes a little more sense. So, in our next chat, we're going to build on this conversation by talking about regulation and how those two are connected. If this conversation helped you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with another parent who you think may need this. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what is one thing that your child does that make you wonder why? I love to hear it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.